You're watching E.T.N. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to discuss and review the first half of Season 3 of The Flash. Yes, The Flash. Well, this season has been very interesting. You guys know me, for those of you who are still around, who have seen my Flash reviews from the past when I was a little bit more active. And you guys know I am a huge Flash fan. I love the show. I think it's fantastic. But you guys, if you know me well, you know that I'm very honest, very objective. And I gotta say, so far, Season 3 has not really had me as excited as the prior two seasons. I want to start off with what the bad stuff, or the stuff that I'm not too crazy about. The first thing I would say is Savitar. I'm not too hip on Savitar right now, although his final episode in the first half was a very good episode. But I'm a little disappointed that it's another speedster with so many good villains in the Flash universe, and villains that I know from the TV show, that I know from the few comics that I've seen and read. And the majority that I do know of is because a lot of you guys who are DC fans who have educated me over the years. It kind of just boggles my mind why we have another speedster. But with that said, the problem really is that up until like the last episode, we really haven't known too much about Savitar. You know, we really haven't gotten an idea of what this guy is all about, what he's trying to bring to the table. And it's another thing of Barry trying to go faster, or, you know, is that what we're going to be dealing with here? But there have been some gem episodes in the show. Flashpoint, to start the season, I thought was really good. And while a lot of people were disappointed that initially it didn't seem like it extended, it was a great episode. And of course, we found out later throughout the season that it actually did extend, not only in the Flash show, but in Arrow, and even, I believe, Legends of Tomorrow to some extent, because of the message that Barry had sent from the future. So very, very interesting, the Flashpoint and how it played out in the first half. Some of the highlights for me in the first half, what is the Killer Frost storyline, has been great. I love how that's been developing, and I love how they're integrating that into Savitar as well. It kind of makes you think that they have a big end game, but it's one of those things where it kind of takes time to gel together, and it takes time to really flesh the story out. And I kind of saw hints of that developing. We also hinted at that developing as the first half of the season came to an end. So I'm very optimistic about the second half. But the first half was definitely, there were definitely some questionable episodes. Magenta was not a big one for me. While it showed Jesse Quick and all that, and that was fine. The villain wasn't all that great, wasn't all that appealing. You know, when you have villains like Grodd and Leonard Snart, who I'm sure will come back at some point. I'm sure that I know what happened. Even though I didn't finish watching season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow, I know what happened there, and I'm sure we'll get him back at some point. Magenta, really not that. And even the new Rogues, you know, that episode after Magenta where we got to see two other villains that were in cahoots with Leonard Snart, you know, they were okay. The Mirror Guy and Vertigo, I believe, was the other chick. They were okay, but still, again, at this point, we've had so many great villains and they're still around. For example, Grodd. I just kind of wonder why they haven't leveraged those to a further extent. I think Grodd would be great to continue to use. I'm more than sure they could bring back Captain Cold and continue to leverage that villain. But they keep bringing these villains in for one-shot stories. Then we had that one episode, Monster, where it was like, you know, a hologram. I mean, this stuff like that was like, I was really kind of sitting there scratching my head, like, what are they doing? You know? But episodes like Flashpoint, and I'm going through them here too as well. Invasion, of course, Killer Frost. Those are great episodes. Killer Frost was a great episode. I really like that one. And the lady who plays Caitlin, I know her last name is Pennebaker or something like that. I forget her first name, but I really like the way she jumps from being Caitlin to being Killer Frost, because it's such night and day. You know, Caitlin's fairly passive. She's not the most optimistic person in the world, but she's very encouraging. She's a great friend. And then Killer Frost is just brutal. I mean, she's just brutal, you know. And it's such a change that I really enjoyed that episode. Invasion, of course, was great, simply because it was the second part of a 4-day series involving all the shows, which I thought was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch. The Arrow episode was the best one, and we're going to get into Arrow in a different video. We'll talk about that because I got a lot of stuff to say about Arrow. So, you know, and then The Present. The Present was a good ending. There's this curiosity of who Savitar is. Who is he? Is it somebody that, you know, is it somebody that Barry knows now and will become Savitar in the future, and then that future Savitar travel back? There's some rumors out there saying, there were some people saying that they thought it might be Wally West. And I thought that was interesting. The only problem is, if you remember the episode, Barry got to see Savitar kill Iris. And I don't think Wally West, even if he hated Barry, even if he wanted to be better than him and all this, I just don't see him killing Iris. I don't. So I don't think it's Wally West. And we also know that it's not Julian, because Julian, we already found out, was playing Dr. Alchemy for a while until Barry, you know, rescued him from that. So, and I also want to mention too, that's been another highlight of this first season, has been the actor playing Julian, who we all know him from Harry Potter as Draco Malfoy. Once again, forget his name as I scroll here looking for it. But anyway, yeah, he's been great. He's been fantastic as Julian. It's been great having him on the show. He's really been a standout addition, in my opinion. Doing a great job, having that nice competition, rivalry with Barry, and honestly holding Barry accountable. I mean, as much as we hate Julian for being a dick and making him quit and all this stuff, he was standing by his convictions. And you really can't hate him for that, because every argument he has against Barry makes perfect sense. You know, as much as I cheer for Barry and we get it, as much as we understand why Barry does it, he doesn't. And looking at it from his perspective, he has every right to feel the way he feels about Barry. And that made for a very, very good conflict, a very entertaining conflict between the two. And I hope he's on the show for a while. It would be really nice to have him there. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Jessie Quick getting her for 2 episodes was really good. That was fun. Harrison Wells going and leaving, and then bringing in the new Harrison. The new Harrison's been pretty funny. At first, I wasn't too crazy about him, but he's been pretty funny now, and I kind of like him. You know, they have to keep Tom Cavanaugh on the show. He's an anchor for the show, man. And he's been there obviously since season 1. He's played the Earbot Thorn and Reverse Flash. So he's just been a gem on the show ever since the beginning. So finding ways to keep him on the show, I'm not going to complain about, because he has shown so much range with being Harrison Wells from different, you know, a different Earth, a different timeline, and being, just everything, a different Earth, a different timeline, everything. He's just played so many different versions of Harrison Wells, and it really gets to show his range of the character and what he can do. So I think keeping him around is definitely great. I love the Iris and Barry thing, that finally together, and she's kind of working through it with him. You know, I wasn't a big fan of Iris back in the day, because before they hooked up, every time Barry would get with a girl or whatever, somehow Iris would find a way to cock block him or screw his whole shit up. So, you know, I'm glad that whole thing is that they're together. And one thing I like so far is she's not doing what Felicity does to Oliver. You know, she's not being annoyingly like sarcastic and kind of just unreasonable. You know what I mean? Like Felicity at times was very unreasonable with Oliver. She's very encouraging. She seems to be you can see on her face her frustration when he's got a dip and he flashes away, but she knows the deal. She knew what she was getting into, where I think Felicity underestimated just how seriously Oliver takes what he does, you know? So, but I think the first half, we've had better first halves overall. Definitely a couple of gem episodes in there, like, as I said, Killer Frost, Invasion, which was part of the four-day The Present, the mid-season finale was good. Flashpoint was very good. But some of the ones in there, like actually it was like 3 in a row: Magenta, the Rogues, Monster. Those didn't really sit with me too well. As far as Wally goes, I know a lot of people are gonna ask me about Wally too. I'm excited to see him as Kid Flash. I like the actor. I think the actor's very good. The character has become dumb. You know what I mean? Like they're making him a little bit too stupid. Like, this kid is an engineering whiz. He's obviously very bright, and they've made him out to be a bright kid. So, and I understand they're going with the whole encouraging thing that he wants to help so much, and he wants to have the same powers. And when he sees Jesse with those powers, he's kind of envious of that. But to do some of the things he's done to try and ignite those powers in the earlier part of the first half was just dumb. I just thought it was poor decision making. You just can't be that dumb. And I mean, I guess you can, but the way they portray him before all that, and then to have him just be completely mindless, to be so desperate to get a special power that you step in front of a car, that kind of stuff, that doesn't strike me as the Wally we met when we first met him. The Wally we met when we first met him is very smart. He's very bright. He is eager to help people. I'll say that much. But he's just not that dumb. So hopefully now that he has his powers, those days are over. He did prove to be helpful at some point, but he obviously needs more experience. He needs more experience out there in the field. And we'll see where that goes. He's going to be a help. Let's face it. He's going to be a help. So, but overall, I thought, look, I like the first halves of the first 2 seasons better than this one. That doesn't mean I'm not enjoying myself overall. I thought the last episode, the mid-season finale, is very good. And I do want to learn more about Savitar. I just hope after this we get no more speedsters for a while. I really think Barry needs to get other villains. There are other villains who can shut Barry down without having speed. So, but be that as it may, we have the speedster. He's here to stay. So I hope they continue to make him compelling, give him a good story, and let's see how it ends up. January 24th, we'll be back to see. So anyway, guys, that's it for this review, and there is a very good chance I will be reviewing the episodes in the second half. Not as hard to review this one since it starts at 8. I can get my video up by 10. So we'll be discussing more about The Flash, definitely within the next couple of weeks. If not, be back here for the second half premiere, and we'll see how things go. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. You can follow E.T.N on Facebook, Twitch or Twitter, or join the Nation Facebook page. Don't forget to click that subscribe button on your way out.